Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 7 of the 2021 Hayes Larks season in their 75th anniversary season. Leading off for the Larks in this matchup between your Larks and the Gameday Saints will be Grant Lung, the second baseman. His first look on the season against Dylan Weaver, a righty for the Saints. Grant lines this one to the second baseman. Dingus, it drops in front of him, and he throws it to Goldie. 2 pitches and a leadoff first out for Dylan Weaver. Weaver on the year 1-0 through 2 appearances. This is his third. He's gone 4 innings, striking out 7, still no earned runs. And looking to add one onto his total right here will be Brady Evans, the catcher out of Murray State. First delivery to Evans, misses the zone, a 1-0. Evans and yesterday's victory in the game, Hayes won 5-1, and Evans got the day off. This one above the letters. 2 balls and no strikes to the lead on to this 2-hole for the Larks. On deck is Divis with Pearson in the hole for the Larks. Weaver throws this one off speed. Curveball drops below the knees of Evans. 3-0 count. Evans comes in this one leading the team. Weaver nods at his catcher best and will go from the stretch. Takes a look over at Evans and decides to go home. And he gets Divis ahead of this one, and he fouls it back into Best's glove. Defensively, the Saints line up with Vogel in left field, Lupton center, Boone in right. Crandall man in the hot corner, Sackett at short, Dingus at second, Goldie at first with Owen Best behind the dish. The 0-2 to Divis into the right-hander's batter's box. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 away in the top of the first. It's game 2 against the Saints this year. Larks won on Friday. On game 1 of this 4-game road series, they won 12-7. And again, the off-speed gets Divis ahead of it. He's down on strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first. For Weaver, that is strikeout number 8 through 4 2/3 innings on the season. Divis down on strikes for just the second time this season. He's a patient hitter, led the team into walks last year, and this time Weaver gets the best of him. That brings up Cam Pearson to the dish. Has started every game at first base on this road series. In yesterday's ball game, Cam 1 for 4 with 1 run scored. Weaver goes home, hangs this one in the air. Pearson reads it, sends it into foul territory. Goldie moves towards the Larks dugout and will make or not make the catch in foul territory. Had it in his glove and then dropped it. So that'll take Brady Evans back to first base. Weaver out of Northeastern Junior College. 6'1" freshman from Grand Junction, Colorado. Has made 1 appearance for them, went 3 innings, striking out 1, no earned runs, no decisions. Schmidt on deck with Henry in the hole for Hayes. Weaver nods at best and turns his shoulder to Evans. Pearson staying alive with 2 strikes on him. Fouls his back. No balls and 2 strikes. The Saints coming to this game 3-2, 2-2 in conference play on a 2-game losing streak. He hangs this one in the air, and Pearson sends it to left field. Moving back is Vogel, and will make the catch on the warning track in front of the 312 sign in left field. Larks get a runner on first with only 1 out, but after a strikeout on the fly out, don't manage anything from it. We go to the bottom of the first. No score here from Colorado. Bottom of the first here from Double Angel Ballpark, and it is leading it off Drew Sackett for the Saints. Larks 2-1 in conference play on a 1-game winning streak. Started off 4-0, dropped 1 on Saturday, bounced back on Sunday. Hunter Parker, the Fort Hays State Tiger, on the mound for the Larks, his second start of the season. Sackett, a shortstop, a sophomore out of North Dakota State University. Parker, 1 appearance against the Roughnecks last Sunday, 8 days ago. 3 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 hits, no earned runs, and picked up the victory. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sackett. Vogel on deck with Goldie in the hole for the Saints. 1-2, nice changeup from Parker. Full Sackett, just enough to get a strikeout. Hunter Parker 6th on the season through 3 1/3. To dish now, Noah Vogel, the left fielder out of Northwestern College in Iowa. Parker from the Colorado area, listed on Fort Hays' roster from Aurora, Colorado. 6'1" righty, is a redshirt junior. 0-1 on Vogel. Is delivered from Parker. Fastball inside and low, 1 ball and a strike. Parker in his redshirt junior year with Fort Hays State, 12 appearances, went 4-3, allowing 40 earned runs, striking out 51, and started 7 games. Another off-speed fools another batter, and Parker's up in the count 1-1, 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 away in the bottom of the first. Larks brought 4 to the plate in the first, got no score. Brady Evans gives Parker the signs, and an off-speed again fools Vogel. Back-to-back strikeouts for Parker on off-speed pitches, 2 away quick. Parker spent 2 years at Western Nebraska before going to Fort Hays State. In 2020, he redshirted the COVID season. Brings Peter Goldie, the first baseman, batting third to the dish. Goldie out of Seward County Community College in Liberal, Kansas. Call and strike 1. Parker locating his pitch as well here, hits the outside bottom corner. Off speed gets Goldie ahead of it. Parker doing a nice job of working his fastball with his off speed and never letting the batters get comfortable so far in the first. And that'll be a third strikeout. It's off the chest protector of Evans. Throws to Pearson at first base. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Hunter Parker strikes out the side and sends us to the second, no score. Top of the second here from Double Angel Ballpark. Leading off is Grant Schmidt, the right fielder out of Fort Hays State University. Changeup gets him in front of it, and he fouls it into the glove of Best. 0-1 on Schmidt. Grant in yesterday's ball game, 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. That was off of a home run for Grant. That was home run number 3 of the season. Against the Saints on Friday, Schmidt 4 for 5 with 4 singles, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. He takes some time here. He has an 0-2 count on him, and Dylan Weaver's second inning on the mound. Have to protect the plate on this one, but it misses outside. 1-2. On deck for Hayes. Zach Henry with Palmer Hutchison in the hole. Righty versus righty. The 1-2 from the windup. Low. Grant takes it below the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Take a deep breath and get back into the right-hander's batter's box. Barely any wind, if any, here in Colorado. Very hot day, but hopefully it'll cool off for these guys in about an hour or so. Full counts for Schmidt after being down 0-2. Does a nice job of working a full count. Nobody on, nobody out. The payoff pitch, and he swings above it. And that is the second strike on the day for Dylan Weaver, number 9 on the season. Zach Henry will bring his talents up to the dish now. The left fielder batting 6th in today's lineup. Zach yesterday 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored, and that one of those hits was a double. So one inside on the UTA Maverick, 1-0. Henry on Friday 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts against the Saints, looking to get some revenge here tonight. The 1-0 to Henry misses high, 2 balls and no strikes. Larks got 1 walk in the first inning and ground out a strikeout and a flyout. Weaver's curveball hangs in the air. Henry doesn't want to bait at it as he now has a 3-0 count. Looks at Frank Leo to get a sign for a take. Weaver takes his time, goes from the windup, and Zach Henry is aboard for the first time in his first at-bat. For Zach, that is walk number 3 on the season, and in back-to-back innings, Hayes has a 1-out walk. Runner at first with 1 away in the top of the second, no score. Henry does have speed, and Hutch will look to move him over. If Henry doesn't even move over himself, could put himself in scoring position on 1 pitch. Weaver knows it, looks over his shoulder, and hangs a curveball in the air that drops down the middle for Hutchison, 0-1. Hutch yesterday 0 for 3 with a walk. Had a little bit of buffering right there. We apologize for technical difficulties again. Hotspot provider hasn't given us anything this weekend. Coach Leo activated them 2 weeks ago. They haven't followed through. We've been calling them all weekend. Still haven't gotten anything from them. They refuse to communicate with us, so using my phone to try and do something. My phone doesn't have great connection out here in Colorado. One and 0 on Core Jackson. 2 on, 2 out. Zach Henry at second, Palmer Hutchison at first. So while our internet went down, Core Jackson doubles home Zach Henry from second and moves Palmer Hutchison to third base. Great Lung hits this one into left field, and Larks will leave 2 on, both in scoring position. But they do pick up a run here in the top of the second. Core Jackson picks up RBI number 6 on the season as Zach Henry scores run number 4. This sends us to the bottom half of the second. Hayes up 1-0. Luke Bailey will lead off the bottom of the second against Hunter Parker, who struck out the side in the first, and Parker's first delivery is in the zone for a called strike on the DH. Strike 2 on Bailey. Bailey against the Larks on Friday, 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and 1 run scored. On the season, Bailey batting .375 with 4 RBIs and 3 runs scored. This one a fastball above the letters 1 and 2 on the DH from Colorado Mesa University. Parker looks down his glove and goes from the windup. Swing and a miss. 4 batters, 4 strikeouts for Hunter Parker here in his road game debut for the Larks. No balls put into play yet. Owen Best comes to the dish, the catcher, batting 5th. Best versus the Larks this season. He's making his first appearance. And this is his first appearance for the Saints. 2-0 on the catcher. Parker goes from the windup, fastball outside. 2 balls, or they will say this one caught the zone. 2 balls and a strike. This one outside and high, hitters counts for Best. Before going to Fort Hays, Parker spent 2 years at Western Nebraska Community College. In his sophomore season, 10 appearances, 6 and 3 with a 3.76 ERA. Right here, he puts his first batter aboard. It's a walk, just the second one Hunter has allowed this season. And we'll get a courtesy runner. That is Vander Hodges. On that sophomore season, Parker had a strikeout per 9 innings rate of 11.07 through 40 and 2/3 innings pitched. Started 8 games out of his 10 appearances and was an Omaha World Herald All-Nebraska JUCO honorable mention. Offsets his front foot for his delivery, and I'm not sure about that one. I thought he picked off Hodges, but they will say Hodges did get a hand in. Great pickoff move from Parker. Parker in his first year at Western Nebraska, his freshman season, made 12 appearances, half out of the pen, half starting, struck out 51 batters, and was a Region 9 All-Star. Overall in his career at Western Nebraska, 22 appearances, went 7 and 10, striking out 101, walking just 64, 14 starts, 8 relief appearances, allowing 81 total hits over the course of 85 and a third. Had a strikeout per 9 innings rate in his career there of 10.65. Check over on Hodges again, not in time. 1-0 count, 1 away, runner on first. Hayes up 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Parker looks over shoulder, goes home, and Evans makes the catch on the bottom outside corner. 1-1. Parker went a Fort Hays State Tigers on the roster, along with Grant Schmidt, tonight starting right fielder. And he's the only player on the roster born in Colorado. Check over again, not in time. He's one of 5 players on the roster who plays college ball in Kansas, along with his right fielder Grant Schmidt and his third baseman Palmer Hutchison. The other 2, Trey Riggs and Brock Loomis, not starting in this game. Throw down from Brady Evans, rolls into center field, and Hodges will stay at second base. Steals second, but on the overthrow that bounced away from Lung and Jackson, can advance 90 feet. Runner in scoring position, 2-1 count. Hodges with a big lead at second base. Grant Long far away from second. Jackson creeps up to keep him honest. And Parker goes home. Fastball fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 chopped over the left side. Jackson waits on it, fields it above his head on a hop, and the throw will not be in time. Waited on it too long, but he couldn't have ran in on it. It was going to be too high, and they will rule that the first hit of the ball game for the Saints. Hodges at second. Dustin Boone, the right fielder, at first base. That brings up Tyler Dingus, the second baseman, to the box. 1 out, 2 on, 1 in scoring position. Dingus on the year, 1 hit and 13 at-bats. This delivery to him caught the inside part of the plate. 0-1. Hunter Parker really painting the corners. Dingus pinch hit in on Friday's ball game against the Larks and caught a walk and also struck out in his other at-bat. It's 1 high, 1-1. Evans punches his glove, throws down the signs for Parker, and this delivery is fouled back. 1-2. Parker struck out the first 4 batters he faced, all swinging. Walked best, allowed a single to Boone. Now just a tough play to Cord Jackson, and that brings us to Dingus. Dingus out of Neosho County Community College. Two from Parker, slider outside, full count. He looks and gets his signs from Evans. Nobody holding the runners on. The payoff pitch from Parker will hit Dingus. Base is loaded, 1 out. First batter Hunter Parker has hit this year. And that'll bring Keith Harper to the mound for a visit. Bases loaded. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Parker looks to get out of this jam. First delivery to the 8-hole. Nick Crandall, the third baseman, is a swing and a miss. After retiring the first 4 batters Parker faces, he's put the last 3 on. This one's hit down the right field line, and it is going to hit off the wall in front of the 312 side. Schmidt shuffles towards it, and 3 runs will score. And Les Evans applied the tag, and the throw to third is not going to be in time. It's a bases clearing double. Advancing to third on the overthrow, or on the throw in, is Crandall. Scoring is Best, Boone, and Dingus. Excuse me, that's Hodges running for Best. And Crandall picks up 3 RBIs. It's a 3-1 lead for the Saints. That one was placed well from Parker. It was almost a foul ball, but just enough fair to bring home 3. For Crandall, that is RBIs number 1, 2, and 3 on the season. And Hunter Parker has his first earned run allowed this year. Oh and 1 as this one's fouled off. Crandall, the third baseman out of Arizona Christians. This one's going to be lined at Palmer Hutchison on the ground, and it will be ruled a hit. And having some trouble with it in left field is Zach Henry. And Luft advances to second base. So Crandall scores for the 5th time this season, and Braden Luft picks up his 4th RBI. It's a 4-1 lead for the Saints. Larks looking to rally in the 3rd. Still only 1 out, runner in scoring position here as top of the order, Drew Sackett makes his way to the dish with strikeout victim number 1 for Parker in the 1st inning. First delivery to him caught the inside part of the plate on a fastball, 0-1. The 5, 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Saints have all scored here in the 2nd inning. And Parker will spin and turn to second and look back, left to the back. Parker goes from the stretch. This one's hit into center field. Leo Jiminian moves back and makes the catch on a hop. And that will be out number 2. And the throw from Cord Jack's going to be cut off. And they will rule the runner safe. I don't know about that one. Tagging from second base is Luft. I'm usually pretty unbiased with the umpire calls, but I'm not sure about 2 of those so far today. I thought Evans applied the tag. The relay just took so long from Jiminian, who had to jump for that one, and by the time he turned around and got a good ball into Cord Jackson in the outfield, Luft was sent home, and it's a RBI for Drew Sackett. Now the 5 through 9 hitters have all scored. And it's a 5-1 ball game. First out, Hunter Parker has allowed or gotten in the last 6 batters. This one's lined to left field. Henry's not going to be able to get to it. It bounces on the warning track, and he loses it. It's going to be a 2-out double, and the Saints are hitting off Parker here early. So after looking so solid in his first inning and a third, things have fallen apart for Hunter Parker. Looking to bounce back here. He's a veteran who has earned his way onto the roster and made a lot of solid appearances for Fort Hays and Western Nebraska. Looking to bounce back here. So Braden Luft on the previous at-bat scored for the 7th time this season. That brings up Peter Goldie, the only guy to not hit in this inning for the Saints. First delivery to him in the zone, called strike. Larks will also see Corey Bright come in relief of Hunter Parker later in this ball game. Parker looks in, gets the signs from Evans, and goes from the stretch. Called strike 2. He struck out Bailey to get this inning going, walked Best, allowed a single, a hit by pitch, and then 2 doubles and a single have kept this inning alive. Evans gives the signs to Parker, and Goldie calls time. Goldie, the first baseman out of Seward County, JUCO. Parker looks in and then turns around to look at Vogel and goes home. This delivery hangs in the air and pops back over Parker's head. Cord Jackson will field it and fall down. The throw is going to be an E6 and a run will score, and Cord Jackson looks hurt on the play. And now it's a 6-1 ball game. The Larks have their starting shortstop looking hurt. It's a tough play from Jackson, and a lot of attention giving. Got to respect the hustle right there from the shortstop. Let's take a quick pause and be right back. So Jackson appears to be okay at shortstop. There's still a runner on first with 2 outs. And Luke Bailey comes to the box for his second time in this inning. Struck out for the first out of this second. Parker misses his own here, 1-0. Things have just fallen apart here for the Larks in the second, who in the top of the inning looked really good thanks to a Cord Jackson double. Fastball from Hunter Parker, a nice one, called strike on the DH. Bailey, a redshirt sophomore, on the day 0 for 1. Went 2 for 5 against the Larks on Friday, and this delivery to him lined past Cord Jackson, who still dives for it. Great effort from a guy who was shaken up just a little bit ago, and the Saints pick up their 5th hit of the inning. Larks used their mound visit already in this inning, and so Best, who walked with 1 out, back to the dish with 2 outs, 2 on with a runner in scoring position. Goldie at second, Bailey at first. The catcher comes to the dish. Called strike on him. For Best, that was his first walk of the season and his first plate appearance. The 0-1 delivery off the turf. Evans blocks it and will not throw, and the dugout tells him to hold it, and he does so. 1-1, 2 outs. Do it for the Larks in the third, trying to get something going with Grant Lung, Brady Evans, and Wyatt Divis. It's been a long second inning for Evans squatting behind the dish. This one off the inside of the bat. Cord Jackson waits on it, fields it, takes a crow hop, and throws to Cam Pearson. And the Saints bring 11 to the dish, score 6 runs, They lead 6-1 as we move to the third on Larks Network. off the third inning for Hayes will be Brady Evans. Curveball misses outside, 1-0. Larks scored 1 run in the second, and looking to add on some here. They're down by 5. Larks no stranger to being down against the Saints. They were down 6-1 going into the 6th inning, and they scored, down 6-5 going into the 6th, and then scored 6 runs in that inning alone, and they ended up winning 12-7. 2-1 on Brady Evans, who was 0 for 0 on the day with a walk. Umpire will say at first base that Evans did not turn on it. Be a hitter's count for the catcher. The 3-1 to Evans outside, and Evans sees 9 pitches in his first 2 at-bats and walks twice. Leadoff base runner for Hayes for the first time in the first 3 innings. To this now, Wyatt Davis, the DH, 0 from the day, striking out in the first, just his second strikeout on the season. Veteran hitter either walks or puts the ball in play in almost every single at-bat. This is his 4th year with the Larks, and the first delivery to him. Again, he's in front of the delivery from Weaver. This is Weaver's 6th inning of work on the season. Has struck out 9, 2 of those in this ball game. Evans has speed for a catcher. The 0-1 as Evans stays at first, and Best pops up and looks Evans back to the bag. 1-1 with Pearson on deck. Schmidt in the hole. Weaver looks over his shoulder and goes home. Curveball outside part of the play. The umpire will say 1 and 2. This curveball really hangs in the air. The Larks have yet to take advantage and wait on one well enough to turn on it. The 1-2. Similar spot. This one just a couple more inches off the plate. 2-2. It's game 4 of a 4-game road series for the Larks. They're 2-1 so far, and this is game 2 against the Saints, who are 1, and the Larks are 1-0 against them. They'll have Tuesday off and be back against the Kansas Cannons on Wednesday. Thursday off, and then a 3-game series against the Cougars. We'll keep you updated and stream those games. Things should be better when we're back in Hayes for the stream. Divis, after being down 1-2, works a full count. Weaver throwing Divis outside, shakes off the first sign from Best, and will likely throw an off-speed here. It's a curveball that Divis grounds right at Goldie, who has some trouble with it, drops it a couple times, was trying to turn a double play, but before he could throw it, needed to get a grip on it. He does it, and Divis grounds out to the first baseman, but puts Evans in scoring position. Now to Cam Pearson, his 2nd year with the Larks. Pearson, a 6'2 freshman out of Cochise College, will have 1 more year at Cochise should he want to take it. Curveball drops low, 1-0. Weaver throwing a curveball a lot today. Last year with the Larks, Pearson played in all 32 games, led the team in triples, led the team in doubles, also led the team in at-bats, hits, and total bases. A lot of extra base hits for Pearson after his shortened freshman season in Arizona. Curveball hangs in the air, drops down to the waist of Pearson. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 away. Weaver takes a couple look at Evans, nobody holding him, and this delivery to Pearson off speed catches the inside part of the plate. Cam doesn't like the call. Cam yesterday 1 for 4, scored a run but struck out twice. And then on Friday, his only game versus the Saints this season, went 3 for 6 with 2 runs and an RBI. This one over into the left-hander's batter's box. It bounces off of Best, who chases it halfway to the mound Evans holds at second base. Weaver nods at a couple signs. After a couple signs and goes home to 2-2 to Pearson. Slider outside, full count. Grant Schmidt waiting on deck with 1 out. So be Weaver's second payoff pitch on the day, and it hangs in the air. It's a curveball grounded to Sackett, who eats it and throws Pearson down at first base. Evans moves 90 feet to third. Back-to-back ground outs for the Larks, who are working Weaver's pitch count here to the first 2 2/3. That'll bring Grant Schmidt to the box. He's 0 from the day, striking out in the top of the second. Schmidt, a seasoned player, one of the few veterans on the Larks roster, really brings a nice approach to the dish and waits for his pitch. Fastball outside, 1-0. So after starting his series out 4 for 4 against the Saints in his last 2 at-bats from today and going back to Friday, he's 0 for 2. Changeup hangs at the eyes of Schmidt, 2-0. 2 outs. Zach Henry on deck if the Larks need him. He waits on it. The off-speed sent to left field, and it'll drop about 10 feet to the left of the left field line. Well-struck ball, just a little early on the off-speed. Big gap in left center field. Schmidt pulled that one. See if he can pull one to the 384 sign. This one he pops up to the opposite field. Boone ranges under it and will record out number 3. Larks get a leadoff base runner for the first time today and get 2 straight ground outs and a flyout. Sends it to the bottom of the third. Hayes down 6-1 against the Saints. Joining you back from Double Angel Ballpark here at Dillon Field. Hunter Parker back to the mound. Dustin Boone will lead off the inning. Grounds 1 to his first base coach, and foul. 0-1. Dustin Boone on the day, 1 for 1 with a single, and he scored on the Nick Crandall double. Part of that 6-run second for the Saints. infield playing back. And the 0-1 delivery off speed, low and outside, 1-1. Larks had their momentum shattered on Sunday. They got some back yesterday, but today got some momentum going in the second, and then all was lost in the second inning when 6 runs scored from 11 hitters coming to the plate. Changeup hangs in the air, drops into the zone, and strikes out Dustin Boone. Hunter Parker's 5th strikeout on the day, number 10 on the season, through 5 1/3. The first time Hunter Parker's got a hitter to go down looking. Now to Tyler Dingus out of Neosho County Community College. The second baseman was hit by a pitch in the second to put 3 aboard and loaded the bases. First pitch he sends to the gap in right center, and it's going to drop on the warning track. Jeminian gets to it, and the throw will be cut off by Grant Lung. It's a 1-out double for Dingus aboard for the second time today. Just well struck to that 380 sign in right center. And the Larks, not much you can do about that one. Bullpen quiet for the Larks. Still early, Hunter Parker, still a lot of time to work with and turn around his luck. And we'll throw over to first and realizes the runner's at second. Good thing Cam Harrison was paying attention. First delivery to Nick Crandall, who had a bases clearing triple and drove in 3 and later scored a run in the second. It's 1 for the day. The first delivery to him in the zone, 0-1. The Saints have 6 hits in this ball game. They've walked once and got hit by a pinch once. They left 2 runners on base, and a nice pitch from Hunter Parker at the ankles. Crandall still gets him to swing at it. 0-2. It's left the bottom of the order on deck and Sack at the top of the order in the hole. Couple looks at second. Parker goes home, and Crandall pulls his hands in on this one and just fouls it off to stay alive. The Larks line up defensively here in the third. Zach Henry in left, Leo Jeminian in center, Grant Schmidt in right field, Pearson at first base, Long at second, Cord Jackson still in shortstop after batting a little bit of an injury, and Palmer Hutchison at third base. This one's chopped to Cam Pearson at first base. Will field it and tosses it to Hunter Parker, and the throw offline, and a run will score on the air. Larks have struggled defensively on this series. Not a whole lot of errors coming into it, but they had a lot on Friday. 7 total errors on Friday against Gameday. That's their second one of this game. That's why Wyatt Davis and his pitching outing had 6 runs scored on it, but only 1 was earned because there was 5 errors in just the third inning. Scoring is Tyler Dingus for the second time today, and it's a 7-1 ball game. This one drops low. Evans drops to the knees and blocks it 1-0. Left on the day, 1 for 1 with a single, drove in Crandall from second base on that hit. Crandall at second base. The 1-0 to the center fielder. Inside. 2-0. On deck, Sackett with Vogel in the hole for the Gameday Saints. It's a bunt. Palmer Hutchison comes in, fields it, and eats the throw. Tough play there. Left doing a nice job of catching the Larks defense off guard. Crandall at third, loved at first. Runners on the corners here with only 1 out in the bottom of the third inning. And moving around in the pen appears to be Jackson Blue. It's a tough angle from here, but I think that is Blue working with some cables, getting ready. Parker goes home. This one swing and a miss from Sackett. 0-1 second on the day. 0 for 1 with a strikeout and the sacrifice fly. It's just has not been it defensively for the Larks. Runner takes off from second. The throw to second. The runner takes off for second from first. And the throw to second from Evans won't get the out. And Crandall scores. It's an 8-1 ball game. So Luft's in scoring position. Still only 1 out. It's just a tough day for the Larks. That was an error from Cam Pearson here in this inning, his 3rd on the season. So one's popped back and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. And that is Jackson Blue throwing some warm-up pitches. Larks down by 7, but don't rule out a comeback. Still a lot of game left. Parker looks so solid in his first inning, and then also in his first appearance on the season last Sunday, and will hit his second batter here, Sackett aboard for the first time today. Some of it was the Saints taking advantage of Parker, and some of it was just some rough defensive plays from the Larks defense, and a couple of errors have allowed this situation to happen. And Frank Leo will send Keith Harper out of the dugouts and will make his second mound visit of the day. We'll take a quick break and be back on Larks Network. Eight to 1 ball game here on the bottom of the 3rd. And Parker will look in, get the signs from Evans. This is the 17th batter in the last 3 outs. Strike 1 on Vogel, the left fielder. He's 1 for 2 today with a double and a run scored. Struck down that 1-2-3 inning back in the first. Parker with his offset stretch goes home. This one will be a wild pitch, and runners both advance into scoring position. Parker tells Evans, my bad, and just things not going his way. Sometimes it's not your day, but Parker still has shown a lot of strength here and has thrown some great pitches and struck out his first 4 batters' face, and this one he'll look to shake off in his next appearance. Not all these runs are earned, though, for Parker. Sackett at second, Luft at third. This one grounded to Cord Jackson. He can't make a play on it. 1 scores from second, and 2 score. It's a 10-1 ball game. And Keith Harper walks to the bullpen and wants to see how Blue is progressing out there. And he will end up coming out of the dugout And that will be a day for Hunter Parker. A valiant effort from a guy who had some great pitches and struck out his first 4. And that is just the day that it is for Hayes so far. We'll be back for the continuation of this inning. Hayes down by 9. A quick warm-up from Jackson Blue, making his 3rd appearance of the season, his 2nd one against the Saints. And Harrod's a runner at first. It's Vogel, who has driven in 2 and scored 1. Sackett has scored 1 off that last hit, and Love scored his 2nd run of the day off that last hit. Blue, a righty out of UTA. Check swing from Peter Goldie, over 2 on the day with an error and a strikeout. Oh, no balls and 2 strikes. Blue has thrown 4 innings this season. Don't believe that's right. I'm pretty sure it's more than that. The throw down to second. And the Saints have stolen another base, and the double play is off the table. And the stats guy for the Larks did not upload game 1 that Jackson Blue pitched, when he went 3 innings and allowed no hits. But on Friday, Blue, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, 1 earned run, struck out 6. And this one will go into the outfield, and the runner will hold at 3rd. And this will bring Bailey to the box now. This will be the 19th hitter that the Saints have brought to the plate in the past 2 innings on just 4 outs. Bailey led off the second with a strikeout and then singled in that same inning. 10-1 ball game here in the bottom of the 3rd. And the Larks just not looking right. Did pretty well against the Saints last year and did pretty well on Friday, scoring 12 runs. This one a fastball at the chin over the plate, 2-0. Even though 7 runs scored in that game on Friday against the Saints, only 2 of those were earned off of 1 from Divis, 1 from Blue. This one's hit to center field, and Leo Gemini will make the catch in front of the 375 marker, and Vogel will trot home his 2nd run scored on the day. Sacrifice fly for Bailey picks up an RBI. And it's a 10-run ball game. Larks don't want to get run rolled here. Bailey just picked up RBI number 5, and Vogel picked up run scored number 5 on the season. Blue goes home, this one low, 1-0. Best at the dish, 0 for 1 today with a ground out and a walk and an RBI. 1-0 delivery below the knees, 2-0. It's Corey Bright now getting loose in the Larks' pen. 2-0 popped out of play over to the left side. And the Little League team here goes and chases for it. All of them go. 2-1 count with 2 strikes. Saints have 10 hits, and Best has a 3-1 count. 11-1 here from the Saints so far. This has been their worst game of the Larks season. Swing and a miss on the off-speed from Blue. It's a full count. Blue is 6'5" freshman from the Woodlands, Texas. 41st overall player in Texas coming out of high school. 16th overall right-handed pitcher in Texas according to Perfect Game. And it's going to be a payoff pitch walk. And the second walk of the day for Best. Courtesy runner will be Vander Hodges. And now the Saints have batted around as it brings Dustin Boone to the dish. Boone struck out in this inning and singled in the second and scored a run. Blue was rated as the 162nd overall right-handed pitcher nationally by Perfect Game and had an 8.5 perfect game grade. So he's the 162nd right-handed pitcher nationally in his class compared to Dylan Weaver, who started the game for the Saints, the 1,185th overall right-handed pitcher nationally. Perfect Game had a different view than Prep Baseball Report on Blue, who gets a ground ball to Grant Lung, who will take the easy out at first, and that will end the long third inning. So the Larks allow 5 runs in this inning after 6 in the second. They trail 11-1, and Frank Leo comes out of the dugout to talk to his team and get them rallied here down by 10 as we move to the 4th. The 4th inning for Hayes will be Zach Henry. The left fielder walked back in the 2nd inning. The first pitch he sees, he grounds it right at Dingus, fields it at the letters, and throws to Goldie for out number 1 of the 4. Momentum continues here for the Saints. Brings up Palmer Hutchison to the dish, and the Larks are swinging here. Hutch on the day, 1 for 1 with a single. Henry now 0 for 1 on the day, scored the only run of the Larks' day so far. Jemenian on deck with Core Jackson, the hole for Hayes. It's been a tough road series for the Larks, who looked really good the first 3 games, going 3-0, 1 on Friday, Tyler Palmer got injured. And then on Saturday, the Larks lost 9-8. Sam Crowell got injured. Yesterday was a good game, good day. They won 5-1, but today down 11-1 early. The Larks will get Matt Cavanaugh back in their lineup pretty soon. Had some injuries at UTA. Has been with the team, the shortstop, for the past 2 years. Hasn't played in this series or on this season so far, but has traveled with the team. Cade Brown also did not make the trip, out with assist. Tyler Palmer's ankle injury on Friday said he's feeling better, and we hope he'll be able to return by next weekend. And Crowell on Saturday, down with a hamstring injury, should be expected to be out for about 10 days. 2-2 count on Hutch. The 2's delivery drops low, and he chases it. It's the first strikeout of the 4th inning for Dylan Weaver, and the 3rd strike on the day, number 10 on the season. 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the 4th. Leo Jiminian to the box now. Jiminian on the day, 0 for 1, popping up to Drew Sackett for out number 2 of the 2nd inning. Weaver goes from the windup, throws home. This one a slider outside and low, 1-0. Due up for the Saints in the 4th inning will be Dingus, Crandall, and Luft. 2-0 to the French center fielder, headed to ETSU after spending 3 years at Clarendon. Swing and a miss. Leo played in all 32 games last year for the Larks, led the team in stolen bases with 15. Before going to Clarendon, spent time at the French Division I with the Senart Templiers, had 22 games with them, had 16 hits, batted .254. As a member of the youth national teams in France, invited to the senior team, chosen to participate at the MLB Elite Camp and played on the MLB World Select Team, and he works himself a full count. Weaver shakes off 2 signs from Best, nods on number 3, goes from the windup, the payoff pitch, lined into center field. Luft will let it drop, and it's a base hit for Jiminian, looking to get a rally going with 2 outs in the 4th. To the box now, Cord Jackson, the shortstop, 1 for 1 today with a double, and drove in the lone run of the day for Hayes. Grant Long on deck with Brady Evans in the hole. Swings above this one, 0-1. And it has speed at first base. Doesn't run here. The throw home, outside, 1-1. Leo Jiminian on the base paths this year hasn't been thrown out stealing, was thrown out going home once. He ignored the sign from Frank Leo. This one popped out of play over to the left side and into the crowd. Small crowd here, less than 100 people here at Double Angel Ballpark. Jiminian on the base paths has stolen 3, 1/5 of what he stole last year. But it hasn't been thrown out once. Smalley at first, creeps down the line. The 1-2 to Cord Jackson, outside, 2-2. Larks had just 3 hits through the first 3 2/3 off Weaver. Jackson sends this one down the line, and Larks thought it was over the base. It looked like it could have been, but they will say that it was just right of the first base bag, robbing Cord Jackson of another RBI and extra bases. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first here in the top of the 4th. Hayes down 11-1 against the Gameday Saints, their second game against them this year. And Jackson reaches for this one, sends it off the end of his bat into opposite field. Leo Jiminian around second, and the relay throw won't be necessary. Core Jackson goes to second base, and it's a hustle double for the Canadian. Jackson, one of 3 international players on the roster this year, along with Jiminian, who's at third base right now, and Larks pitcher Luke Terbeek. Grant Lung will dig into the left-hander's batter's box with 2 outs and 2 in scoring position. Core Jackson, his second double today,